What is up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of our Team Sky career mode, where today we will be doing another objective. It's only a half star, but we only have to get top 5, so that should be doable at the O Gran Camino. We're also going to be racing the Omloop Het Nieuwsblad? Nieuwsblad? Something like that. And we have some small races that I don't think we'll watch, but it's going to end in our first monument, Milano-San Remo, and we have some riders that look perfectly suited for that. But first, I thought I'd let you get a look at how our season's been going. 3 objectives, and 3 objectives failed. This can't stand, so we're going to have to make a market improvement in the upcoming races, because there are some riders that's contracts are up at the end of the year, and they look like they would be perfect for Team Sky. But up first we have stage 1 of our half-star objective, the O Gran Camino. As you can see, our team: Jana Berasturi, Leo Hayter, Ben Healy, Oyer Lascano, Max Poole, Connor Swift, and Joshua Tarling. Jana Berasturi is in terrific condition. He's at his peak right now, so this 163.2 kilometer flat stage is going to be right up his alley. It looks like we have some hills towards the end, so maybe we can lose a few of the pure sprinters, which is only going to help our cause. So we look at the favorites, and Mark Cavendish is here, unfortunately for us, but with Aberasturi in such good conditioning and Connor Swift here as well, I'd say we have a real decent chance at this. And we are here with about 9k left. Astana absolutely drilling the front, so we're trying to make our own moves and come around and try and threaten Mark Cavendish, but Oyer Lascano finally getting us up into position now, as it's going to be Josh Tarling's turn to take over here in a little bit as Lascano starts to drill. And with about a little under 5k left, we're going to use all our energy gels, and Josh Tarling's going to go ahead and take the front. We're going to need to move him up even higher because we are getting swamped right now. And Josh Tarling taking us to the front, doing his job, as Connor Swift can start his sprint. And Jana Berasturi can follow him. He has a little bit left. Can he come around? It's looking like it's going to be Casper Van Uden. But Jana Berasturi coming in second. Not a bad result for us. But man, I was really hoping we were able to come around there right at the end. And up next we have stage 2, and this is one for the GC riders. It's a 181 kilometer hilly stage with a nice little ramp there at the end. This is going to be one for Ben Healy and Max Poole. We do need to finish on a top 5 position, so we're going to do our best to make sure Ben Healy is in with a shot to win this stage. And we pick back up with about 10k left. We're in good shape here. We've got 2 more hills left to go. We're angling Ben Healy and Max Poole for that stage win, and we're trying to push this pace over the second to last hill, 2k to the top. But this one looks like Healy can go up to 87, so can Poole. We really want to assert our dominance and try and create some separation and drop some people off the back. But maybe the 87 was a little bit too hard. We did stop some attacks over the top, which looks pretty nice. But with 5k left, we're not going to pop our energy gels just yet. We're going to, maybe on Swift and Tarling, we're going to wait until right now for Max Poole and Ben Healy, as Poole goes up to 87. Healy can also go up to 87. But right now it looks like Swift and Tarling are just getting in the way. Brandon McNulty going up the road. And we're going to have to adjust our effort, because that is just not enough. That is bad tactics on my part, as there's only 1K left. And Poole is going to have to go up to 95 as well as Healy. Healy looks like he's doing the better of the two right now. And as long as we can stay on, he should be fine. Poole can get his sprint too, and it's going to be Brandon McNulty, Jay Vine, and Santiago Buitrago on the podium, as Ben Healy comes across the line in 6th, which isn't the end of the world. I would have liked to be higher, but I think splitting the attention between Max Poole and Ben Healy kind of screwed me there, so we're just going to have to pick one for stage 3 tomorrow. And at the end of the stage, we can see that Ben Healy has moved up into 4th position in GC. Max Poole down in 12th. I think that answers who we're going to go with tomorrow. But in the team category, we are only 1 minute and 10 seconds back, so we can see if that's another thing that we can look to grab out from under UAE Team Emirates. But at the start of stage 3, we can see it's a 146.9 kilometer hilly stage, but these hills are looking a lot like mountains, so maybe Max Poole might be our best option here. He did just hit his fitness peak, and we can expect at least a +2 out of him, so we're gonna make a call on the fly, see who's in a better position, whose stamina's in a better spot, Ben Healy or Max Poole. We just need one of them to get in the top 5, and with a time trial coming up on stage 4, we just need somebody up and around that top 3. And here with about 13.5K left, we have just finished the Alto de Saragude, the second to last climb, and we are coming up to the base of the Alto de Mora, the last climb of the day, and this has been a tough stage for everybody involved. But Swift, Healy, and Poole all in a great position. We're a minute back from the leading group, which shouldn't be a huge threat to us. But we're going to turn Connor Swift up to 87 and look to push up this final climb, as we are cutting into that breakaway group. Again, nobody really threatening there, but Connor Swift setting a fast pace, and Sosa over here managing to keep up with us is probably good news for him. But Connor Swift, we're going to have to turn it up a little bit. We want to catch this group, and we want to attack with Max Poole right before that crest at the finish. And with 7K left, UAE trying to attack around, but it's not going to happen for them, as we are slowly reeling in this breakaway. We need to use up some of Connor Swift's energy soon, as this starts to flatten out, which should help our riders, as we're better in the flats than we are in the mountains. But Connor Swift doing a great job right now of breaking up the chase behind us, as Connor Swift is out of his red bar, so we're going to go let him do his own thing and let Ben Healy take Max Poole to the front here, as we are now in a group of 8. And Healy still has a decent enough amount of stamina left. With 1.5 left, he might be able to crank it up a little bit more and really launch Max Poole right about now, as Ben Healy can just sit up. So we want Max Poole to come over the top with a little bit of a gap, and can Ben Healy follow? I think it's going to be a 1-2 for Team Sky here. We are looking very strong, as Max Poole can already start a sprint, so can Ben Healy. We have a 25-second gap on the group behind us, and it's going to be Max Poole and Ben Healy finishing in a 1-2, another dominating stage for the Team Sky boys. And there is Max Poole taking what I believe is his first win of the season, with Ben Healy 6 seconds behind him. Brandon McNulty down there in 3rd. But with the bonus seconds, Max Poole will take the yellow jersey ahead of Ben Healy by 1 second, and Brandon McNulty behind it with 3 seconds of a gap. going into the final time trial stage on stage 4. And unfortunately, in that last stage of the O Gran Camino, Oyer Lascano did have a fall, and that means he has broken a rib and he will be out until the end of March. A big hit for the Team Sky roster. But before we finish with stage 4 of the O Gran Camino, it is another World Tour race, the Omloop Het Nieuwsblad. And I don't think we're going to have a great shot at this. I mean, Fred Wright has an outside shot. Sam Watson on a +3 day. If his stats are where they need to be, he could have an opportunity, but we're just going to go in with no game plan. We're going to see what happens and try and get Wright and Watson up there towards the end. And with just under 44K left to go, we do have Fred Wright in this giant breakaway. We also have a minute 40 on the peloton that Wout van Aert is attacking out of, so we will have to watch out for that when he eventually bridges across. Maybe we can sit on his wheel and try and poach a decent result off of his hard work. And with 20K left to go, Kasper Asgreen has gone up the road. The breakaway has been caught. Wout van Aert made sure that happened. When he tries to chase you down, you really can't say no, as Mathieu van der Poel decides to go ahead and make his attack, which is probably in the worst position for us to respond, but we're going to try to right here with Fred Wright up this little kicker. It doesn't look like he's attacking whatsoever, though, but we do close down Van der Poel and Asgreen. Kasper Asgreen, another one of my favorite riders. He's just always so consistent, so good. But we can sit Fred Wright up now and make sure nobody else attacks around the side as Wout van Aert decides to go. Perfect timing from him. But we are going to keep Fred Wright on 85 and see if we can slowly close that down as we hit this little hill. Fred can use some of his stamina. We don't want to burn him out. We need him for this little flat section. It's just Fred Wright and Sam Watson. We need to get to the top with both of these riders to have a real shot. But it looks like that's not going to be the case, as Fred Wright can go sit on Sam Watson's wheel now, and we can see if he can make something happen out of this group as Bettiol decides it's time for him to go. And Van der Poel's going to respond. Van Aert, after that last effort, doesn't have enough energy, but we'll see if we can pull him to the line. It is slightly downhill for the rest of the race, but we have Kasper Asgreen, Alberto Bettiol. It's too wobbly. Matteo Trentin. And Sam Watson actually doing a great job closing it down on his own, as now he can go ahead and sit in and watch for Wout van Aert to make his counterattack. Trentin still has something left in the legs. With 4.8 left, we're going to use the energy gel. It's really just Watson now. Fred Wright with almost nothing left. As Van Aert and Trentin trying to get away, we're hoping we can save enough stamina. Seneschal, Bettiol, Pedersen. Mads Pedersen trying to close it down doesn't make a ton of sense, but I guess if you think Wout's going to win on his own, but with 1.5, I think just after this turn, we're going to go ahead and launch our sprint and see if we can compete with the big boys with Sam Watson as we come around Trentin just barely. But it's going to be Kasper Asgreen, followed by Mads Pedersen and Wout van Aert. And Watson's going to come across in 7th place, which is no small feat, a great result for us. And Fred Wright also going to join the top 10, coming across the line with Florian Seneschal. And at the end of the Omloop Het Nieuwsblad, we do have Sam Watson in 7th, Fred Wright in 9th, but Ethan Vernon, a nice performance there, coming across in 15th. 3 minutes down, but top 20 in a World Tour event is always a good thing. And if we look at the team ranking, that does put us in 1st place. So I know it's not really important in one-day races, but winning the team classification in a World Tour race seems like a good step for a Conti Pro team. but that will lead us to stage 4 of the O Gran Camino, the final stage, a 15.6 kilometer time trial. Looks like there's a few uphill sections which should help out Max Poole and Ben Healy, but we're really just looking to consolidate a top 5 here and finish our objective. And we have reached the start of Max Poole's time trial. We're going to go ahead and try to get him up to speed as fast as possible, and then just kind of sit back on 85. We'll speed it up. Ben Healy doing his own thing right now. Unfortunately, we can't do both time trials at the same time. But there is quite a large hill, so we should be able to use that to Max Poole's advantage. And that means there is also a little downhill here where we can really hit the gas and try and save some red there for the end. 85 should be a decent amount of effort for us to make it to the end. But Ben Healy looks like he's on a flyer up there. Max Poole with 2.5K left, giving it his all. As we come around and up this final little bend, we can move it up to 99, and he comes across in 17th place. But Ben Healy finishing second. I think that can only mean one thing. Your winner of the O Gran Camino is going to be Ben Healy by 5 seconds over Brandon McNulty. Max Poole coming in 4th, 31 seconds behind. And after that stage, we'll take a look at the final GC standings. Ben Healy coming in 1st place, Max Poole in 4th, and Connor Swift coming in 7th place. Another huge performance from Team Sky. It looks like we're really starting to settle into our groove. But this result's going to be huge, as it is a season objective. So hopefully we can get back into our sponsors' good graces and maybe get some more money for next year. And after that great result, we can definitely be happy with that. But for now, we have bigger fish to fry. It's going to be our first monument, Milano-San Remo. And for the start of the first monument of the season, we can take a look at our team. Ben Healy, Oscar Onley, Darren Rafferty, Connor Swift, Antonio Tiberi, Ethan Vernon, and Fred Wright. So you can see our fitness is looking very good. We've got 3 guys on Fitness Peaks for this, and we're not considered one of the favorites, which might play into our hands in this one, as we look to make a move up the Poggio. Hopefully Wout, Mads, Jasper Philipsen won't respond. We can get over that line in 1st place. And we pick up here at Milano-San Remo with 32K left to go, getting dangerously close to the bottom of the Cipressa. Stefan Kung still out in front, but we shouldn't have a hard time pulling him back. Connor Swift leading our group of guys, and I do have a strategy here. We just need to get over the Cipressa and onto the Poggio. And at the bottom of the Cipressa, looks like Remco Evenepoel tried to make a move. Jasper Philipsen trying to follow him, so that's good news for us. Let him waste the energy. But we cannot afford to let these top guys go. Connor Swift pacing out very nicely, not letting the big hitters like Wout van Aert get up the road. We still have Kung to pull back. I thought we would be pulling him back at a little bit faster of a clip, but I think right before the end of the Poggio, this should come back together. And we have gotten over the Cipressa. Kung only 15 seconds ahead now, so we can pull back a little bit. But for our strategy, we are looking like we're in a great position. Connor Swift still with tons of energy left. Fred Wright primed to attack up that last climb. And Ben Healy looking to take us home. And we have reached the bottom of the Poggio. In about 1K, we're going to ramp up the pressure. Set Fred Wright up to 95 to get him ready for his stint, which will start right now. Connor Swift did very well today. It's Fred Wright pumping the pace. Darren Rafferty looks to be in a great spot today, so we're going to use that. And we're going to attack with Fred Wright just to dissuade anybody else, if nothing. Other than that, as Darren Rafferty can go ahead and attack now. And we're getting dangerously close to the top as Wout van Aert and Remco Evenepoel look to attack, and Ben Healy has to respond. But for right now, he has managed to stay with those two, which is great news for us as we recover a little bit of stamina on the downhill, and it looks like we have tons of people in this front group as Darren Rafferty goes way in front. And Fred Wright can look to sit on the wheel of Darren Rafferty. Darren Rafferty can go 95. But Ben Healy looking to make his move, and it's looking like Wout van Aert is just going to blow everybody out of the water. I don't think there was a shot we could keep up with that. But we botched it there at the end, probably splitting the attention between multiple people again. Got a little flustered, messed it up, but we get Ethan Vernon in the top 15, which isn't a bad result. Should be good for the sponsors, but I can't help but think we probably could have done more there. And it will be Wout van Aert taking Milano-San Remo, followed by Mads Pedersen and Jasper Philipsen. I mean, that attack there at the end was like, he was like shot out of a cannon. Congratulations to him. We will look for this next year for a bit of redemption as we do take the team classification. Again, one-day race is not a big deal, but our sponsors are going to look very favorably upon that. And all in all, a pretty good episode. We did get some stage wins. Connor Swift picking up some good results in those middle races that we did not show. And unfortunately, the bitter taste in the mouth will be left from Milano-San Remo. But next episode, you can look forward to the Volta Ciclista a Catalunya and the E3 Saxo Classic before we get into Classic Season with Paris-Roubaix and Ronde van Vlaanderen. But as always, I wanted to say thank you for your support on the series. And feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I try to post one video from this series every weekend and 1 or 2 videos for the Pro Cyclist series during the week, just because they're a little quicker to get through. Until next time, I will see you later.